What up, collective and YouTube family, and welcome to These May Be Your Messages reading. If you are new here, what's up? My name is Paris, aka Elvira or Brightbat, and you can check out my links below where I just have my podcast for content and then Patreon for exclusives. But let's get right into it. So, wow. So I'm hearing Shawty right there's a 10. But I feel like you haven't really unlocked your full potential just yet. Because you see how she's like holding all those coins close to her chest. So it feels like you have diminished your worth or diminished your value for something or somebody. Some of you, it could be, unfair treatment that you've been kind of tolerating out of the fact that you feel like whoever this is or whatever it is, you feel like it's worth it to stay. But you're not understanding that every time you give to this situation or you give to this person, they take it and they multiply. They take it and they thrive in their life. And some of you, maybe you're not even with this person anymore. Maybe you're kind of in this Five of Cups energy, still holding on to what they left you with while maybe watching this person live a certain life on Instagram or on social media. And it's just like you feel like you're entitled to this person's success. And Spirit is saying, in ways, you are kind of powering up this person with your sadness. And I know that sounds crazy, but sometimes when we are the person who is meant to bring an awakening into someone's life and we are not fulfilling that role, you start to kind of go back to a old past life cycle narrative, because most of you, this is someone where in a past life they did the exact thing where they abandoned you for someone, or they left you for money or something. They prioritized their career over you and their purpose over you. But all along, you in this person's life, as we talked about in another These May Be Your Messages on here, you may want to check out that you are shielding someone from their karma. I believe that's what it's called or something. I'll link it below. But this is kind of like a similar situation. You are actually very missed by somebody, but you're kind of putting yourself in a timeline where you're living it the way that they would like it. So they kind of feel like anytime that they decide to come back to you, you're always going to be there. You're always going to be waiting for them. You're never going to leave. And it's kept you out of your timeline, where actually your timeline is the right way, because this person, they lied to you, they gaslit you, and you were sent to kind of be the eye opener, the one that makes them question everything. And you have already started that journey, because maybe you're not talking to this person, but I feel for some of you, it's the very thought that it's your fault that things haven't worked out. That's what's keeping you on this person's timeline. Because really, once you switch it into no, it's their fault. Because people need to take accountability. It's their fault that we're in this predicament. I tried to help this situation. I tried to change it. I tried to grow with this person, but since they want to choose another life, let them choose another life. And as soon as you kind of come back into that energy of trusting that you are being led to better outside of this connection, that's what's going to allow your path to be lit up, and for this person to begin receiving the judgment on their life that they need, which is yeah they kind of fucked up when they fumbled you. You're the only one that's casting light into this person's life. So you kind of have to also stop waiting around to see something. Some of you, it's like you check on this person, but you try not to. And it's okay to want to know what's going on, because above all, this person is a part of your soul family, as crazy as that sounds. There's our lower self, and then there's our higher self, and your higher selves are very fond of each other, you and this person. And their higher self is kind of like, can you trust that my lower self ain't shit? Okay, because it's like, in you doing that, it's going to allow this person to step into a role of healing once they actually feel the severity of their actions. Because this is somebody who they haven't really been able to see how bad they've messed things up, and that's why you feel like this person doesn't care. But it's like, you detaching from this person is going to allow them to start realizing, hold up, if collective is not fucking with me, I must not be shit. Okay, because they know your value. That's why they have you in this place. It's kind of like they have you in this place of being the sweetest person, or the most understanding person. And in certain twin flame dynamics, that can be the case, because you kind of have that family type of love towards that person. But it still doesn't take away from everything that they did. It really doesn't. And some of you, you're afraid to actually step into being fully angry at this person, because you think, like, what am I gonna have once I fully like accept that I deep down I don't really want this person. I really don't. You're kind of at that trivial part of the twin flame journey, separation, where you have to, you know, focus on the bigger picture. But also, I've been trying to put this into words. It's like you have to also live as if you didn't know that information. You know what I mean? So it's like, if there was a version of you, okay, let's say you and this person broke up, and there's a version of you that didn't know about tarot readings, we didn't know about none of that. It's like, you would probably just cope with the breakup, right? You wouldn't try to like stay optimistic. You would just be like, whatever. And that's why people sometimes say that tarot readings are demonic, or knowing the future is demonic, because you could get a reading, okay, confirmation, spirits like, preach it. You could get a reading that tells you that you're going to win the lottery, you're going to be like whatever, and you stop living as if you were, because now you think you're about to win the lottery. So you start spending, you start not really caring. And it's like, it's a very delicate balance when you're getting readings. I don't think that they're demonic at all. I just feel like there's a certain level of maturity that you need to have when you're getting readings, and you need to also affirm that you still live presently when you get certain predictions, because maybe some of you you have like an awareness that it can't be over, or something is there's like unfinished business. But it's like I was saying in the weekly, you have to live it as if it is finished, okay, in order to move into this new cycle. So you can actually begin purging everything that you need to purge, because what's destined for you is destined for you. And I do feel there's a lot of things being reorganized, because some of you may not want this person anymore once you heal, and that's why they haven't came in yet, because it's like, once you heal, you're going to see the bigger picture of why spirit kept somebody out of your life for so long. And it's like, right as you get in that energy, they could come in and you could just be purely disgusted. Okay. And that's a sign of your healing. That's a sign of your growth. Some of you, it's not really about being with this person. It's about taking the lessons that you've learned and then accepting, what your heart is saying. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, for some of you, this person, they have good intentions. Let's say, like they have good intentions, but it doesn't mean that you have to forgive, or you can forgive, of course, but it doesn't mean you have to let them back in, especially if you're like already turned off by all the things that this person said. I'm hearing what they said to you. So this was someone who, when they showed you their true colors, it just completely, it sidelined you. And it almost made you a little messy. Okay, maybe you were tempted into some messy shenanigans. Okay, dealing with this, dealing with this devil of a person. Every time I see the King of Swords, I swear, that King of Swords energy would pop up so much when I was going through my own shit. And sometimes that can symbolize Archangel Michael or Gabriel, like a very strong, powerful ancestor that's trying to bring you clarity. Some of you, it's like this clarity though, it's that you don't want somebody anymore, okay? You just haven't realized it yet. You have, it's like you're in this place where you're done being miserable. You don't want to be miserable. You're genuinely done with the situation, but the reason you even hold on to a glimmer of hope is because this person wants you to. So you're going to have to be careful. You're going to have to pray that you understand what emotions are yours and what aren't. Okay, especially when this finds you, because this is finding someone where it's like you're sad, but you're also, maybe this reading is confirming to you, like, yeah, I knew all along this wasn't me. I knew, because I don't see y'all geeking for this person, but it's like, it's the energy that's been being sent your way. It's like this person, maybe they never expected you to just be who you are, or to just actually let them be. They could be used to people trying and trying and trying again, and you didn't do that, but somehow spiritually you still feel like you're attached to this person. And that's because deep down they're banking on you being the same person when they return, or yeah, when they return, or when you return. Okay, so affirm that you are shielded from this person's projections. Okay, so you can actually feel your genuine emotions about this situation. I don't think that some of you have really gotten to the bottom of how you actually feel about somebody. You're so empathetic where you feel things that people feel about you and you don't even realize it. Okay, so that's kind of mainly what I'm getting on this message. I'll see you guys at the